Hi everybody, this is Christina. I'm back with another unboxing video today. This is from an auction I did in Russellville, Arkansas. First things first, as you can see, I got these beautiful, beautiful lamps. When I bid on them, I knew they were pretty, but in person, this one really shocked me. I didn't think it was as big as it was. So these are what they call Hollywood Regency mid-century inspired lamps. This is like a Carl Falkenstein inspired lamp. This one's like a pineapple lamp. It's missing some crystals on this one, but I have crystals I think still that I can replace it with. And this one still has its crystals. The lampshade on this one is a little damaged, so I will have to replace it. I would turn it, but I'm scared to death I'm going to knock one of these over because they're up here, but this one is so huge. It takes up so much room. I'm going to have real fun shipping that. Again, I get all this stuff for my shop, Peddler Wagon. It is AR Peddler Wagon on Etsy. So it's AR peddlerwagon.etsy.com. And so shipping this, I'm not looking forward to, but I think I can get it. So even if I got to do 2 separate boxes. So let's dig right into what is in the boxes. So I did a little research on this stuff. I did already go ahead and clean this stuff up yesterday. So this is a first. Usually I show you everything as soon as I get it before I've cleaned it up or anything like that. But we're in a time crunch because we're going on vacation next week. So I went ahead and cleaned everything up and now I'm showing it to you. So let's start with the smaller box. This is a Chromex aluminum. It's not silver. Serving tray. It does have some sticky residue on the bottom that I've got to get off, and it's pretty scuffed up, so I'll have to give somebody a pretty good deal on this one, unfortunately. So there's that. This is just a simple, as you can see, cheap little aluminum tray. I don't even know if I'm going to sell it because I don't know how vintage it is. This, I believe, is what they call I think it's a Huger. I could be wrong. It's a bud vase. It's milk glass. I just had a few of these not that long ago on the shop that actually sold. I tried to get another lot that had another one in it, but it went way too hot. So I only ended up with one. This, I did research yesterday and I found some of these online. It's milk glass. It looks like a cup to me, but a lot of people have them as planters. So I don't know if FTD made this at one time. I seen it labeled as FTD, but I'm not seeing a mark on here for FTD. That doesn't mean it's not. FTD is a florist, if you don't know. And so probably around the 70s, maybe a little earlier 60s, they had floral arrangements and they would put them in different, planters and stuff. So I've seen this marketed as a planter, which is kind of cute, honestly. All right. Next, just a little stainless steel gravy boat. I'm sure I can sell it. It's nothing big. So this is a Bohemian Crystal Ruby Flash bowl. Sadly, this bowl is in really poor shape, so I'm not going to be selling it for very much, if I even attempt to sell it at all, because it's just real bad. I don't know if y'all can see. The surface scratches are horrible. Somebody lovingly used this in their home, probably sitting somewhere and had stuff collecting in it is what it is. But it also has like the ruby flashes wearing off in certain spots. It's just in really poor shape. So I don't know if I'll be selling that at all. I don't know. It's sad because I actually bid on the lot that this was in for this bowl and it wasn't real great. All right. So let's move on to the next thing. So I've got 8 of these cups, or they're like champagne cups, sherbet cups, whatever you want to call it. These are Anchor Hawking. The name of these are called, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, Tivoli, I believe. It's basically a smoke glass is what they call this. They're really cute. These were real big in the 70s and 80s. I can remember my mom having a lot of smoke glass glasses and things like that. I got a set of 8 of those. So I'm really excited about that. I got this. This, I believe, is Federal glass. Don't quote me on that. I did a lot of research yesterday, but I do have a lot of Federal glass in this. I do know that. I believe this is a Peddler glass. This is also called like a boopy style. When they have like the little round things on the edges, they call it boopy. But this is an actual pattern. I can't remember what it was called. There's an air bubble, but it was really cute, really valuable, and I didn't even know it was as valuable as it was, honestly. These I love. I got 2 of these. I believe these are Peddler glass as well, and they have the boopy detail. They're not considered boopy glass, but they have the boopy detail on the bottom with the sunflower. These are really cute. And there's 2 of those. Next, I got a clear Miss America. This is Anchor Hawking. This is Miss America pattern. It's clear. It's a dinner plate. It's not as valuable as the pink Miss America or the green. I'm on the lookout for a green for a certain customer on my shop. And you can hardly find the green at all. But it's not as valuable as the pink or the green, but it's still going to give me my money back. So I'm not too upset about getting that. These next 2 things, when I seen them in the auction, I thought they were cake plates, but I wasn't quite sure. So when I got it and I found out they were indeed footed, if you can see the little feet right there, and right there. I believe these are Anchor Hawking. I'm not 100%. Like I said, don't quote me on that because I did research yesterday and I can't remember everything. But almost everything in here is something, if that makes sense, like Peddler glass, Anchor Hawking, Indiana glass. It may also be Indiana glass. Indiana glass had a lot of stuff like this too. But there's 1 fitted cake plate, and then I also have another one. This one's probably my favorite, only because it has the boopy detail. Obviously, the estate that I got this from, they really like the boopy detail. That's what I call it. So there's that. All right, that was that box. I'm going to go ahead and put all that stuff back in there. And hopefully I don't break anything. I promise I'm trying to be careful, you guys. All right, on to the next thing. So this, I did some research on the pattern. I'm going to have to do some deeper diving. I'm not quite sure the pattern or if this is actual Imperial glass. It is heavy like Imperial glass. And Imperial glass did a lot of these. So did McKee. So I don't know if it's any of those makers or not. I'm going to have to do some research. But it's a relish dish. And it's got the sawtooth edge. It is cut glass on the bottom. It has the pinwheel design with the star. So very pretty. Very pretty. It shines in the light. I don't know if y'all can see that in the video, but it's just, oh. So this is Indiana glass, I believe, bubble glass. This is what they call bubble glass. I've had a couple other pieces. I've had a bowl. I have a pedestal bowl now that's not considered bubble glass, but it looks like bubble glass. So that's what this is. It's just a little bubble glass plate. This is Peddler glass. I've had one of these before in the blacks or in the smoke before, and it's already sold. So now I have a clear one, and this is Peddler glass. It's a what they would call a fluted console bowl with the fruit motif. I'm sure it was probably a fruit bowl in its original intent. This, I believe, is Indiana glass. It's what they call a nappy dish or a relish dish. I call them nappy dishes when they have the handle because for some reason that's what they're called. I don't know why they were called nappy, but they were. And it's divided. So this would have been, on a table during the holidays with, different like olives or, nuts and mints or something like that. So I got a one-off. I got another one-off. I got a Peddler little bowl. I already got a set of those in my last video. Y'all saw that I had a whole big set of the Peddler glass plates like this and bowls and things like that. So I got another one to add to the collection. This, I'm not quite sure what this is. So this is marked 2I in a circle, 5, 4. So I don't know what this is. I've looked it up. I couldn't find anything on it. I'm from the South, and I would have used this for biscuits to cut my biscuits out. It's a perfect shape, y'all. I call it a biscuit cutter. I'm sure that's not what it was. I'm sure it's like a custard cup or something like that. But yeah, that's what I would have used it for. Just saying. This is a little KIG bowl, Indonesia, pressed glass. This is from the 70s. I've had a few KIG bowls. It actually is marked KIG in Indonesia. It's really pretty. Just a little berry bowl or serving bowl. So this was my biggest surprise. This looked like Tiara by Indiana Glass to me. And the sandwich pattern. I've had a few of these. You know, I have the amber dishes still on the shop. I've had some pink. But this is not Indiana Glass Tiara. This is Duncan and Miller. Duncan, I believe it's Duncan and Miller. This makes it more valuable. This is a crimped console bowl. This is older. The Tiara Indiana Glass sandwich pattern is probably from the 60s, 70s. This is older. This is probably from the 50s or, you know, the 40s. Very beautiful. Very, very cute. I really like this bowl. I'm going to hate getting rid of it. So if it doesn't sell, it's no bummer to me, just saying. Now this one right here that kind of matches almost, but not quite. This is Tiara Indiana Glass. So this is Indiana Tiara Glass. Like I said, this was probably made about around the 70s. Probably made around the same time as the KIG bowl. They're still really valuable. They're still really collectible. I got a lot of one-off pieces, so I'm really going to be making somebody's day that collects things and they're missing pieces or they're trying to replace pieces or expand the collection. So there's that. All right. Let's move on to the next thing. This right here is Livingston porcelain or china. I know I say porcelain weird. My husband makes fun of me for it all the time. I'm not quite sure the pattern. It kept wanting to come back when I was researching it for something else. So this was made in Wedgwood, England. It is marked on both ends. There is a bad spot right there on the underplate. The actual Grady boat is in really good condition. It's just the underplate that has some issues. It's got like some staining. You know, that's obviously really chipped a lot. But yeah, so I'll have to do some more research to find out exactly like when it was made, what the pattern is called, things like that. And it does look like, even though I cleaned it up, it needs a little bit more cleaning. But I imagine it's probably because this is late 1800s, maybe early 1900s. That's probably why. All right. Let's see. I'm going to put that right there. So this, I already have one of these already on the shop. This is an Anchor Hawking Star of David bread plate or bread tray, whatever you want to call it. This is from like the 1960s, maybe the 70s. Very popular pattern, very popular design. This pattern you find in Arkansas anyway. I don't know how it is in any other state, but in Arkansas you find these everywhere. So this, I guess, was a big pattern in this area of the country. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know if it was countrywide that was such a popular pattern during that time, or if it's just this area. So, all right. This next one, I couldn't find anything much about the maker. It is a divided relish tray. If it was me, I would actually use this as a vanity tray. I'm really crazy about vanities and like dressers and things like that. And this would be perfect to like put, you know, you could have like brushes, combs, little perfumes, things like that. I'm weird like that. That's what I would use that for, honestly, instead of its original intent. Like I said, make sure you're liking and subscribing to our channel, but also make sure you're liking and subscribing to my shop, arpeddlerwagon.etsy.com. Because like I said, I did do some research, but a lot of these videos, I haven't done complete research. But when you go into my shop, I have more information about what these items actually are, like the maker, when it was made, things like that. So then we have this. This is got some rough spots on it. This is Indiana glass, I believe. This is Indiana glass. It's another divided serving dish or serving tray. It has handles. It's very solid. It has gold gilding on it. It does have a few rough spots that I saw yesterday, like right there. So this was lovingly used, honestly. So it's probably seen a couple holiday seasons if I can take a guess. But it's not in horrible shape. Like I'm still going to be able to resell this at a pretty good price. All right. On to the next. So this is a one-off. This is Hazel Atlas. I believe it's a Florentine pattern. I'll have to look the pattern up. Again, I can't remember the pattern, but I do know it's Hazel Atlas. It's just a little punch cup or teacup. It is uranium glass. It does glow, or Vaseline glass, whatever you'd like to call it. So it does glow under the black light. I already checked it out. I only got one of these, which makes me sad because they're really cute. But like I said, I've told other people that have commented on my channel about the green. Green is hard to come by, especially in my area, because people know it's worth. And you see people all the time in the flea markets with their little black light, and they're looking. So if people know what they have, it goes for a lot. Either you can't find it, or when you do find it, it's way out of my price range. All right. I have another nappy dish. This looks to be Imperial glass. Again, it's heavy like Imperial glass. It has got that rough cut to it that Imperial glass love to have. It could also be McKee. I'm not quite sure. I couldn't find the pattern. I'll have to do some more research. It's really beautiful. I don't know if you can see how it just shines in the sun. It's gorgeous. It was rough. It still has a few little rough areas that I'm really going to have to clean up on there. So somebody really loved this dish. All right, on to this next dish. Now this, I looked up and I cannot remember to save my life what this is. It has a pretty good sized chip right there in the sawtooth. But I can't remember, like I said, what it is. It's either Federal glass, or this could be Indiana. I'm not quite sure, but it's just a little bowl. It's cute. On to the next. So I do know this is called Open Rose. So y'all don't shoot me. I think it's Indiana. I'm pretty sure this is Indiana glass. Open Rose is what it's called. I could be wrong. Like I said, make sure you're subscribing to my shop or favoriting my shop on Etsy. That way, if you want more details, you'll get them, because when you come to this video, you might not. It's another little nappy dish because it has, again, the little handle. And this would be just like a little relish dish that people would have on their table during, gatherings or holidays. All right. Now, the rest of this box is actually punch cups. So this is an Anchor Hawking Grape Cluster punch cup. And so I told you in my last video, I got 3 snack plates and 1 cup. And I told you that was okay because I was bidding on an auction to get more cups. Well, I got them. So 2 of these, I'm sorry, are going to go to the other snack plates that I didn't have cups for. And that leaves me with 2, 4, 6, 8 to sell on my shop as a set. So there's that. All right. Then this next thing, they look all the same, but they're different. So one is a punch cup, and one is what they call a custard cup or dessert cup. This is Anchor Hawking. This is Star of David. Again, that pattern is very popular. I think it's Star of David. I'm pretty sure it's Star of David. So I have the punch cups. I've already sold a set of these already on my shop. So I believe it was a set of 5, and I actually have 5 more. So I got them right back. And then I have the custard cups, and I don't know exactly how many I have of those. So let's see. I've got 2 of the cups, 4 of the cups. Let's see. 3 custard cups. I have 6 of the custard cups. And again, I have 5 of the punch cups. So there's that. Now the next box is a lot of odd and end pieces. A lot of sugar and creamer pieces. So this is Jeanette glass. You'll see a lot of the marigold. This is actually older. The white is actually an older glass than the colored glass. The marigold, they reissued the pattern and they came out in that carnival glass type amber glass, what they call marigold. This is iris and herringbone is the pattern. They came out in that in the 60s and 70s. They reissued it in a different color. The clear, though, is from I believe it's the 30s. I actually recently watched a show. It's an older show on HBO, set in the 30s. And I had a picture like this that I've already sold. And they actually had the picture on the table. And it was really exciting to me because I got to see something that I had seen that was supposed to have been during that time period. And it was just awesome for some reason. But this is just a little creamer. I don't have the sugar. Like I said, I had a lot of off pieces, like little odd pieces. So there's that. Now the set I do have is this set right here. So this is Fostoria glass. This is what they call Fostoria American, or American Cubist. It's Cubist glass. It's a sugar and creamer set. It's really cute. Cubist glass is real popular. Indiana Glass also made a Cubist glass called Whitehall, but this is Fostoria, and which makes it more valuable. So there's that. Then I got another one of these. So one of my last sales, I got one of these, and I wasn't sure what this was. I thought it was just like a little trinket dish, like for rings. It's by Avon. This is what they call a salt cellar. So I've got one of those. Now I have two. I was so excited because now I have a set. All right. This next one is also a Jeanette, like that iris and herringbone, but this is called Bartlett pear. And this is a sugar bowl with lid. This is a very valuable pattern, especially with the lid. You don't find a lot of these with the lid. I wish I had gotten the creamer with it, which would have made it even more valuable, but that's okay. It's a really great shape. I don't see hardly any flaws on this. Like this is gorgeous. And what's cute about these little things is when I used to flea market before I started doing Etsy, I would buy this kind of stuff for storage in like my bathroom, on my dresser, on my vanity. I love repurposing things out of their original intent. The one thing I do see a lot of people doing is they'll buy this glass and they're making candles and putting it in there. And I'm not bashing anybody, but that kind of upsets me. Because a lot of that glass is like really valuable, and you're pouring candle wax into it and making it a candle. I mean, I'm glad that we're repurposing and we're not filling up our landfills and things like that. So I will say that. But that's just not my thing, I think. So just like my mom had a thing where she did not like people that got antique furniture and like and would paint it, the whole painting thing that everybody does nowadays. She hated that. She's like, just refinish it, redo it. You're just messing up the wood. She hated it. So everybody kind of has their thing. All right. This next thing is like a little tiny beer stein, you guys, for kids. Look at how cute this is. I want to say this is a KIG Indonesia. I'm not quite sure what it was for. I did see when I took a picture of it and kind of researched it, that it was KIG Indonesia, and now I'm seeing it actually on the bottom of the glass. I didn't see that yesterday in the house. That's why I like coming outside with my stuff a lot, because you can see it a little bit better. Also, thank you to my follower on here who actually suggested that I do these outside. It's a great idea. It's a great idea, and so I think I'm going to do more outside because you can kind of see my stuff better. So, but yeah, this is a little KIG cup. I think it's cute. I don't know if I'm going to sell it. I have grandchildren, and I may just keep this for one of my grandbabies. All right. This is an Anchor Hawking Stars and Bars sugar bowl. I believe it probably had a lid at one time, but I don't have the lid. Like I said, a lot of one-off pieces in this auction. This, I believe, when I looked it up, is an Indiana glass. It almost looked like Hazel Atlas glass, and it's really heavy, you guys. It's just another sugar bowl. It doesn't have a lid again, double-handled, really good shape, has a couple air bubbles, which is kind of common in pressed glass, little flea bites here and there. But that's what you get when you have glass that's almost 100 years old. All right. This next one, I couldn't find much about this, but it's so neat. It's heavy. Again, it looks like imperial glass. What's really neat to me is you can see where they folded this glass over when they heated it up to attach. It's so cool to me. I don't know, just the craftsmanship and the way that they made things, years ago. We just don't make things like that anymore. It has the sawtooth edge. It has the starburst feature. Like I said, I've got to do some research to find out exactly who the maker is. My thing is, for a sugar bowl, this is really tall, really big. I mean, I know that one, the Jeanette Bartlett pear, is big too, but this is really big. All right, on to the next. So this is a Jeanette Windsor. I have the Jeanette Windsor in pink right now still, I believe, on my shop. It has a couple flea bots. This is the clear, though. It's just a little creamer. I don't have the sugar, unfortunately. So there's that. So somebody's going to love me if they had a set and they lost a piece on some of these. So let's see. And the next thing I got was this little toothpick holder. I don't think this is that old. This is probably 60s or 70s. I don't think it's that old at all. It's pressed glass. I can see the seams. I couldn't find much out about it. I did see some online that people were selling already, and they have it as a toothpick holder, and they don't really have a maker on there. It's unmarked. All right. This next thing is a small crystal bud vase. So it does still have the sticker on there that lets you know that it is 24% lead crystal. I cannot pronounce that name. It was made in Yugoslavia. And it's just a little bud vase. Crystal is a really good resale item. In case people didn't know, people love crystal. This last one, I probably will not sell. I probably will just, I don't know, I might sell it for somebody named Charles. This is just a little souvenir glass that had somebody's name on it. It came in the lot, so I have a Charles. So if there's a Charles out there and you're looking for a cup, I got you. So I think that's all I've got for today. It wasn't a big haul. I actually bid on this auction for these lamps. So that was my biggest concern. These were just kind of thrown in as extras, and I'll take them because I will turn around and probably make about three times my money on all this. So it was worth it. So again, make sure you're liking and subscribing to our channel so we can continue to bring you this content. Make sure you're going to my shop and favoriting so that you can get more information. You don't have to buy, just become a fan. It's peddlerwagon.etsy.com. And until I see you again, I'll catch you on the flip.